Hello everyone, and welcome to Volume 7 of Putting Gold into the Golden Years. A friend of ours suggested that we do a segment on how we plan a trip. Frankie's planning a trip across the table at the moment. But thanks Phyllis for the idea, so we are going to tell you exactly how we plan our trips. Not necessarily the best way, but it's our way. Thank you, Frankie, for participating. Okay, Luann, would you like to start with how we plan our trips?
Sure. One of the things that Mark and I talked about when we first started dating was that I hadn't really been very many places that didn't involve field trips for children or camping trips and canoe trips for boys. So we talked about that, and he's made it his mission in life to take me to as many places as possible, which we've really enjoyed. And we do shorter trips and we do long trips. So one of the things that we use in our decision making now that we have the travel program is we try to pick a place that's close to one of the facilities, because as we shared in an earlier video, we can stay in those facilities for free. But mostly we just decide what we think will be interesting and go for it. We use Google Maps to pick a route, and sometimes we don't take the most direct route because there may be something that we want to see along the way, or especially if it's like the world's largest beer can or something like that, you know, nobody would want to pass that up. We've actually seen that. So we pick a route, and then typically we limit our driving time to about 6 hours a day, because first of all, we don't want to be exhausted, and you never can tell where you might see something interesting and say, wonder where that goes, and off we go. So we try not to overdo it on the length of the driving for the day.
As far as lodging along the way, we normally just plan like a day ahead. We don't book lodging a week or so out unless we're going someplace that we know is going to be crowded, like a Yellowstone or a Yosemite, someplace like that. We just do it on a day-by-day basis. And some of the sites we use in order to find lodging is, if you are a active duty or retired military or a disabled veteran, you can use a site called armedforcestravel.com. We also use Travelocity, Hotels.com, Kayak, or if you're a member of any of the hotel loyalty programs, you can check with them too as far as getting a place to stay. Mm-hmm. Now, what do we normally take with us, Luann?
We normally take, we always take cups with ice in them and drinks. Yes, Frankie, I love you too. And we also take snacks. It's easier than stopping along the way, and it's also less expensive. So we try to do that. Always make sure we have paper towels in the car in case we spill something. In light of the COVID pandemic, we always make sure that we have hand sanitizer and an extra container of hand sanitizer. We always take a camera. We always take a memory stick with additional music that we might want to listen to that's not readily available to us on one of the radio stations. And then obviously the clothes and, you know, things like a flashlight, umbrellas, things like that. So we just try to make things simple and convenient for ourselves.
Also, we normally use the 3 basic sites to find things along the way that we may be interested in. We're going to let our English friend tell you about those 3 different sites.
Thanks, Mark. It's a pleasure to be part of putting gold into the golden years. First, let's look at roadsideamerica.com. This is a good one to start with. After you enter the state you are looking for, it gives you an alphabetical list of attractions. Next we have atlasobscura.com. This one contains sites perhaps a little more bizarre. Finally, we have onlyinyourstate.com. It contains plenty of attractions including restaurants. We generally check all 3 sites to make sure we don't miss anything. Well, there you have it. Happy traveling, cheerio.
Well, that was interesting. Luann, you got some recommendations for the people?
Absolutely. I've gotten since I'm retired and actually have time to do some things that I want to do instead of always worrying about what I have to do, I've started reading for pleasure again. I haven't read for pleasure in a long, long time. And I found a series of books that I really like. One of them, I got the first book given to me by an acquaintance here, and I like kind of mystery dramas, and it was a good one, so I decided to get another one from that author, and the author's name is Mary Burton, and this is one that I'm reading now. I'm not finished with it, but I like the way she writes. The stories are interesting. There's a lot of twists and turns, and there's some pretty good character development in it, and I like that. And then the other one, somebody gave me one of these books, so I read it, and it's really light, it's easy, it's funny. The author's name is Janet Ivanovich, and she has many books that she's published. So it takes me about a day and a half to read these. So it's gotten to be an expensive habit. I've got to find a used bookstore, see if I can find a way to cut down the cost, because paperback books are expensive these days. They weren't always, but they are now. But anyway, Janet Ivanovich and Mary Burton, if you're looking for an easy, good read.
And you don't feel like reading on your tablet.
Right.
Frankie, thank you very much for showing our audience your best side. That about wraps it up for this week, folks. We hope you found these tips helpful, and you can get out and do a little traveling on your own. Thanks for watching.
Bye.